Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, to my Social Media Magic podcast, whatever it is you're using to watch and listen. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Brittany Verlenich. I'm a content strategist, social media manager, and the host of the show, lover, of course, of all things marketing, creation, and content. So glad that you're here. Today, though, I have some not so happy news, but I also have some ideas around that news. And if you are listening in real time, this is probably going to affect you if you have a Facebook group. So here it is. Like you saw in the title, Facebook is getting rid of access to third-party apps and tools in Facebook groups. This means if you have been using something like BeLive, StreamYard, Zoom, anything that streams into a Facebook group, anything that works with a Facebook group, even a scheduling tool like SocialBee, Publer, Metricool, anything like that, it is no longer going to function with Facebook groups. So what does this mean? This means that if you're going to be going live in your group, the only option after this date, which is April 22nd, 2024. So again, if you're listening, that's just a few days from now in real time. A couple of questions I've seen come up in Facebook groups and just by talking to clients and students is, one, can I still use these third-party tools and apps with Facebook pages? Yes, you can. As of right now, you'll still be able to use your favorite scheduling app for your Facebook page, for Instagram, or anything else. And there are still going to be third-party tools accessing Reels and Stories and Instagram as they have been. It's just Facebook groups. It's because Meta doesn't want to fix the Groups API anymore. But the real reason, we'll never really know. Okay, so I want to talk about very quickly what are some things you can do if you've been relying on this. If you've just been using third-party tools and apps to schedule content, you actually don't need a paid tool if you're primarily showing up on social media with Facebook and Instagram. Many people have said things about Meta Business Suite, and I understand it's not super intuitive at first. But once you get in there and play around a little bit, if you are committed to DIYing your social media, it actually does start to make more sense the more that you play and experiment with it, pretty much like every other tool and subscription that you might have. But it's free and even gives you some ideas to post. It lets you know different holidays coming up. I really like it both as a content creator myself and as a social media manager. I actually do have a video where I walk you through how to use Meta Business Suite, and I'll make sure to link it here. If for some reason I forget or if my VA forgets, just send me a DM on Instagram over at Brittany Verlenich and I'd be happy to send the link over to you. But what if you've been going live in your Facebook group? I have been going live in Facebook groups as a core part of my lead generation and audience growth strategy since 2018, which is wild to say out loud. I really love StreamYard for this. I also love that StreamYard allows you to stream into multiple destinations at one time, which is great. You can go live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook pages, even I believe Facebook profiles, and it used to be groups, but now as of no more. And it's also totally possible that Meta could come out a day, a week, a month later and roll this back. We don't know. I'm just giving you updates in real time because my show is about social media marketing and content, so how can I not cover it? I just mentioned StreamYard, BeLive, eCamm, maybe all these tools that you've been using. I will be the first to say I do not love Facebook's Live app, the native app that's in there. I love with StreamYard that you can very easily and seamlessly change the layout. You can switch between sharing your screen and just going on camera. These apps make it so much easier and it's more engaging. There's other little fun features like filters and stickers and tickers and all this other stuff. I'm sure that if they haven't been already, they are going to be getting together and figuring out how can we make this native tool better, because every company is really looking for ways to keep their audience. They want your attention, they want your ad dollars, not necessarily your ad dollars, but someone else's ad dollars to get to you. So I'm sure that if they're not already thinking about it, they're going to be thinking about it very soon. How can we make this tool better? So even I am rethinking my content strategy, right? Because I do live interviews in my Facebook group, Social Media Magic, which definitely come join because I'm always sharing ideas, tips, tools, offers in there. Basically how it goes is like my email list, you guys are my VIPs, you find out about everything first. I have the best deals for you. So if you haven't gotten onto my email list already, it's a place you want to be. I'll make sure to have some freebies down in the description below in the podcast and YouTube video descriptions. So just go and find the one that you like the most. Freebies about growing your Facebook group, about growing on Instagram, about using social media to grow your email list, which is what I'm all about. So pick the one that most resonates with you. It's a bummer, but just pick. Do you want to learn Facebook group's native live feature, or are you going to switch it up? So for me, I've been going live with interviews in my group, and that was one of the main draws for my group. So now I'm going back to the drawing board and thinking, what do I want to do with my group? How do I want it to stand out? How do I want to differentiate myself about all the other marketing groups out there? Because there are so many. So that's something I'm thinking about, and that's just a good thought exercise anyway. I actually have another episode on the podcast here called You Need to Make Your Facebook Group a Destination. I truly do believe that. Honestly, with any channel, your Instagram channel, your YouTube channel, your podcast, any kind of platform, your email list or newsletter, your product, why should people go to that one thing, that one place? So that's a really good episode to listen to if you're trying to figure out, what do I say? What do I post? How do I make myself stand out? Everybody's doing the same thing I am. That's a great one to listen to, and I'll make sure that's linked also somewhere here. But you can also just choose to switch up your strategy. So I'm throwing a couple of things around, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this in the comments or via DM, because you guys watch and listen. I'm thinking about switching and just streaming directly to YouTube, which I figure would actually save myself and VA some work and some hours, because then I'm streaming directly to it. I've thought about doing that instead, or in addition to streaming on Instagram, because I figure, oh, if I'm going live on Instagram with somebody, then I'm also getting in front of their Instagram audience. And if it's going to YouTube, then I'm going to get the long-term Google SEO benefits of that as well. I'll also share one thing that's really cool about StreamYard. I have a Windows computer for reference to. I know that some of these apps, Mac specific or Windows specific. I really like StreamYard because I like that you can do multiple destinations at one time, but also if you have guests, they can stream to their destinations. So talk about a network effect, right? If you're all going live on your own platforms and channels at the same time, everybody in your shared audiences is finding out about everybody else on that panel interview, on that webinar, whatever it is that you're doing. So I just really love it for that. I love it for the convenience and the use. I also find the quality tends to be a little bit better. I have a feeling it has to do with the fact that they record locally. So it's just like how right now I'm recording offline. So I don't have to worry about my internet buffering or my signal or anything. It's just the camera recording, right? So I know that StreamYard and some others like it, like Squadcast and I want to say Riverside, for podcast recording, if they do a similar thing. So those are things to think about. And it also might just mean your workflow changes a little bit. Right now, I go stream into the Facebook group and then I download that and I have my VA upload it to YouTube. But now we're going to switch it up, and it might actually save me money because now I might not be paying my VA to do all those other tasks because I would have automated it or figured out a way to connect these programs in the back end. So that's what I'm thinking about and doing right now. I'm going to be scheduling all of my content in Meta Business Suite. Now, if you have other platforms, so like maybe you're also on TikTok or Snapchat or Lemonade, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads. So in that case, you might still want to have a third-party tool like Metrical. So I think you just have to sit there and look at it. And that's honestly a good thing to do every quarter, every year. Look at everything you're doing, not just social media either, for your business, and figure out like what's working, what's not, how much time am I putting in versus what is the impact or effort. Kristen Hammond from the Creative Teacher podcast just did a series on Facebook attraction strategies and Instagram attraction strategies where she talked about high impact, high effort, low impact, high effort, something like that. So she put them into quadrants. I thought that was really clever because she broke down, in her opinion, from her experience, which strategies she thought were better in that way. That is a really great decision-making matrix that you could do for yourself. It's like putting all of your lead generation strategies, putting all of your marketing channels that you're doing, one, just to brain dump until you get it all out of the back workings of your mind, which will probably make you feel a lot less tired. And then honestly looking at it and saying, okay, what have I been putting time, money, energy, resources into? What's actually paying off for me? Because you may or may not be surprised to find out what's actually doing that. This is actually something I do with my one-on-one clients. One of the first things you do, whether I meet with them once or 60 times, is I sit there and just audit everything. I walk them through. I ask them questions out loud because I look at it as if I was looking at my own business, right? And I tell them what I'm looking for. I explain why I'm asking that question. I kind of audit out loud and I have them audit with me. Like I just had a session with someone and she is looking at everything she's doing. And right now she's trying to decide, should I use Instagram or should I use Pinterest? And the hard thing is there are so many marketers out there like myself who are going to tell you, you should use this tool and you should use this. And not maliciously, right? Like when we recommend something, it's usually because it's worked really well for us, or we've worked with clients and seen really good success, or we've seen other people do well with it, right? There's a reason. And sometimes affiliate marketing commissions and referral fees, like those can have an effect too. When I'm recommending those things, I see it working for myself and others. That doesn't mean it's going to work 100% of the time for everybody else, right? Let's be reasonable about that. So I asked her, what have you gotten the most traffic from in the last quarter? She was really unable to determine that. And it was just because she didn't have enough data. You all know if you're on Teachers Pay Teachers that the UTM links are not always super accurate or efficient or effective. And not just the TPT UTM links. Like you can make your own with Shopify stores. I believe in WordPress too. I know people who use Bitly links for that to track conversions, click-throughs, all that. If you're not doing that already, that is one thing you can do to start testing. Where am I getting the most views versus the most conversions? Because there are so many steps, right? Maybe you're getting a lot of clicks and eyes, but actually it's your product description or your sales page that you need to update. So there's all these different things, like social media is just one piece of that. I try to be super transparent about that, but it's the doorway. Your house still has to be nicely laid out, or your shop, however you want to look at it, but it's what gets them in the door. It's that signpost outside, like, interesting. I'm going to stop there and spend some time here and figure that out. Facebook, third-party tools and apps, just like everything else. Slow down, take a minute, look at your business, figure out what's working, what's been working, what have you been doing, what are you going to have to change. You can decide to either use Facebook's native tools with Facebook groups, or you can decide, you know what, I'm going to switch up my Facebook group strategy. That's third-party tools update. I rambled a little bit, I'm sorry, but I hope that was helpful. I just nerd out about this stuff. I have to talk about it. I mentioned this in the intro. I have a pre-recorded intro here, but the Teacher Seller Summit is coming up. If you're listening to this in real time, the early bird deal ends on April 30th, which means the price is going to go up. So if you haven't checked that out yet, you can learn more in my episode description, or you can send me a DM on Instagram over at Brittany Verlenich. I will send that information to you. It's also going out to my email list, so if you're in there, you'll find out about that too. And I think that's it. As always, I would love to see you stick around. You can either subscribe here to my YouTube channel and give this little video a like, and if you're listening on the podcast, I would so appreciate you following me on whatever platform you're listening. And if you really like this episode, or if you found it timely, you can actually screenshot this, share it to your stories, and tag me. I would so appreciate that because I know how much effort that is. Thank you so much. And I will see you, or you will see me rather, on the next episode of the Social Media Magic Podcast. Talk soon.